She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Stop checking the sofa for extra cash. Just look right here. Hi, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Today we're going to be talking about ways to make more money. Everywhere I go, I seem to encounter people who are always looking for ways to make extra money. And there are so many obvious ways all around us, but some people just seem to have some kind of blinders on that just says, I don't know how. I really would like to make more money. I just don't know how I can make more money. There's opportunity all around you, my friend. There really, really is opportunity all around you. Today's show is going to show you where it is. There was a saying from a long time ago that basically said, there is money falling all around you. You just can't see it. Money's always looking for a place to go. And it's your job to tell it where to go. And that's within terms of how you spend it. And that right there is one quick tip, that you actually could be adding more money that stays in the bank every single day by what you refuse to spend money on. Yes, you can force your bank account to grow based on what you refuse to buy. And I'm not talking about investments. I'm talking about buying shoes and clothes and stuff. You know, what is it about that we have all been so conditioned, that as the seasons change, there's something that says, I got to buy a new thing for the new season, right? For summertime, it's a new pair of shorts or a new bathing suit. For the fall, it's a new sweater, right? For the winter, it's a new coat or a new snowboard. We have been so conditioned by our society to buy according to the seasons. It's always buying stuff, more stuff than we even know what to do with. And that becomes our habit of what we do instead of forcing our bank account to grow based on what we refuse to buy. So if this month your bank account has $1,000 left over at the end of the month, okay, that's all that's left in it. Refuse to spend that $1,000. And now as the next money comes in, now if you're able to save $1,000 the next month, now we have $2,000 because we refuse to spend the $2,000. Money is almost like vapor. It disappears in the air. So that's one place that you actually have money. You really, really do. And it is actually going to all different kinds of places. But if you really are in that place, that you got a specific goal that you want to achieve, there is something that you must get done in a certain period of time. How can you make some quick cash? Or if you're like Carlos, who you heard from last week that we interviewed here on the Dani Johnson Show, he had lost everything. And he started what? A simple little, almost door-to-door business of being a handyman and made $100,000 from May all the way to December. So, hello, friend. There's money out there to be made. You just have to have the eyes to see it. So what we asked was our friends on Facebook. We asked a question of also our faithful listeners to the Dani Johnson Show. We asked them to share with us different ways that they have made extra money, different things that they've done, things they've sold or whatever to create that instant cash so they can go and do the things that they want. So I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. You're going to hear some really good, helpful ideas. Definitely a show for the kids to be tuning in today because they need to go and make their own cash as well. So first, we're going to start with Letitia Mejeras from California. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. So what are some ways that you have found to maybe create some extra cash or save cash?
Oh my goodness, it has been such a mindset shift. I actively started praying and asking the Lord to bring ideas into my head because we went from a 2-income family to then deciding to have children and raise a family. And so I decided to stay home with my children full time.
That's awesome.
And went down to a single income. And then at that point, we went from 100,000 plus to 50,000.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a huge deficit there to make up for.
Wow.
So we tightened our belts. We prayed. We got some awesome guidance from our pastor. And number one, just really stopped eating out. We realized that we were spending so much money on eating out that if we just cook at home,
Yep.
6 days a week,
Yep.
that one day that we maybe splurged on fast food, something that was healthy, that was enough for us. And we realized the second thing is quitting coffee, little simple things like that. But to bring in more income, we started selling all of our kids' stuff, things that they didn't use, their clothes, their shoes, their things that they outgrew things so quickly that it was like, what do I do with all this stuff? And previously I was giving it to Goodwill, which they turn around and
sell it.
Right. So I said, why not sell it myself
Nice.
and, get that profit in my pocket?
Yes.
And, oh, my gosh, it was so eye-opening because once that happened, other avenues opened up. There were so many Facebook groups that I found in my area. I'm in Santa Clarita, California, and so there are so many moms who are doing the same thing. So there were just tons of boards that I could post my stuff on and basically deliver and sell it that way. And yard sales, oh my gosh, yard sales have been huge for us. Previously, we wouldn't do these things, just because we were like, oh, we don't need it, or, let's just give it away. It's time consuming. But I had to come up with new ideas. Since I was a stay-at-home mom, I couldn't go out and get a job. We didn't have that family support to help us, so it was all on us.
Okay, now hold on a second, Letitia. I just love what you are saying, and I'm going to tell you why. So many people choose to eat out instead of have mom train up her own children.
Right.
Isn't that sad? So it's like this. It's like, oh, okay, well, we don't want to cut our income in half because you guys went from $100,000 plus down to $50,000 a year. That's a huge, enormous cut in income, and yet you had your priorities straight. And you said having children and me raising my children is much more important than the extra $50,000+ a year that we were making. It's much more important than eating out all the time. It's much more important than giving all of our stuff to Goodwill. Instead, let's sell the stuff because Goodwill's going to sell it. Why not we sell it, right? And what about this? What about buying other things that people are selling? Meaning, yeah, your kids are growing out of this age group of clothes, but someone else is selling their kids' clothes that are just that next year ahead of your kids. Why not be buying? And it's gently used. Give me a break. I know this. I had 5 kids. My kids wore hand-me-downs, right? And I cannot tell you, like a pair of pajamas lasted 12 years. And I still ended up giving it to my nephew because we were done with it. All the kids' jeans. And I had 3 sons. 3 boys that you would think they trashed those clothes, but they didn't trash the clothes. And by the way, where did I buy the clothes? Walmart. This multi-millionaire shopped at Walmart for my kids' clothes. And again, I made everyone wear those hand-me-downs and eventually had to hand them down. Do you know that recently, it was so funny. Recently, I was with some family members and my son's clothes that he wore when he was 2 were on this kid.
Wow.
We're talking 18 years. 18 years, and the clothes are still being worn by the family. Especially boys' clothes, right? Like, how much do the styles of boys' clothes change? Nothing.
None.
And again, they were from Walmart. Give me a break.
Right.
So anyway, I love that you did that because you guys made a decision. You made a decision that raising a family was much more important than the way you were living. And there's very few people out there like you. The second thing I want to tell you, you don't even realize that you're doing this, but you actually have developed some wealth skills.
Right.
You have. The way you guys are living is frugal. And frugal is one of the most important skill sets to learn for creating wealth.
Yes.
It's not about how much you spend. It's about how much you keep. And so you have found ways to keep money instead of spend money. All right, what's another thing? So you sold things on Facebook, of all things, right? Connecting locally with your local area of other moms who are selling the kids' old toys, selling the kids' old shoes, selling the kids' old clothes, right? So you're making money, buying cheap, which means you end up with a profit. So yeah, okay, so what's another thing that you've done to be able to help you be home with your kids?
Well, I gave up on all of the extras. I mean, it wasn't like I was getting out, to go to work, so I didn't have this, closet full of clothes that I needed.
Yep.
That was another thing I gave up. Extra shoes, hair, nails, things like that I could do from home. Those were just little extras for me. Of course, I like to have those things, but now it's budgeted. Now it's, if we have the money, then it's not so much of a need. It's a want. And so I decided to cut out all those wants and make sure, prioritize our needs from our wants. So
yes.
That was huge. As women, we want it all, but, at what cost? And for me, like you said, my children were of utmost importance, so they came first,
Yeah.
I didn't need that manicure, that pedicure. I could get that at home, and it wasn't a big deal.
Okay, now here again, that is a wealth skill.
Right.
Notice, I don't have fake fingernails. In fact, I don't have nail polish on my fingernails. My nails right now, they look pretty bad. I have a nail file in my lipstick case, and I will be filing my nails today. I do my own nails. I don't let someone else touch my feet. I got paid no $50 or $30 to have someone touch my feet. Are you serious? Ew, get your hands off my feet. I don't want to take the time for someone to play with my hands. Ew, I get my hair done twice a year now. I might be able to go a whole year now. I haven't had my hair done for 7 straight months. I'm letting my hair grow out. I'm letting all the color grow out of my hair. Okay, letting my own natural color, including the gray, come in. Why? This is frugal. Why? Priorities. Why? I want to take care of the poor. I don't care if someone sees the 50 gray hairs I have in my head right now. I don't care if my fingernails are impressing you or Joe down the street. And if someone is looking at my toes, there is a problem. Know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously. So, girlfriend, look, you learned how to live life without an extra $50,000.
Yes.
Which tells me you guys were wasting an extra $50,000 a year.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Wasting!
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah.
This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Be sure to tell a friend about the Dani Johnson Show. It just might be the key to the breakthrough they need. Stay right here for more of the Dani Johnson Show. Go to DaniJohnson.com to find out about our next live event. First Steps to Success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS.
Hi, this is Dani Johnson. Let me ask you something. Do you dream about being more confident, more beautiful, more powerful? Are you that girl who never learned to wear makeup and now you're lost in a sea of YouTube videos? That busy mom who can't get enough sleep and just wants to feel pretty again? Or maybe you're that professional who wants a little more respect in the office. From the boardroom to the bedroom, celebrity makeup artist Xtina Harmsworth from XMH Beauty will help you. Xtina has a track record of making beauty easy on any budget. Her live class is simple, step-by-step professional beauty techniques, and insider secrets will set you apart from the crowd. So don't sit on your dream another minute. Learn from the best. Get your exclusive free gift from Xtina today at xmhbeauty.com/Dani. That's xmhbeauty.com/DANI.
If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do with your life? Discover your own answer. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Dani, I don't have any more time to make any more money, but I am broke and I don't know what to do. Listen, time is a vacuum, and we are all really, really good, and just kind of go along with me on this road here, at wasting time. We really are. You know the old saying that if you want something to get done and get done quickly, ask a very busy person to do it. Because busy people don't waste time. They know how to fit a whole lot of things in a very short period of time. There's always time that's being wasted. And time, as they say in the business world, is money. There's one thing that you can do right now with the current hours that you're already working to increase your income. And again, here on the Dani Johnson Show, we're always showing you tips and techniques and strategies so that you can have success. What is success to you? Well, for somebody, it might be joining us on that trip to Israel in September. Right? We're going on to Israel, a 12-day vacation, a spiritual equipping for 12 straight days. We're going through a chronological trip of the Bible, starting in Genesis, ending with the book of John, perhaps the book of Acts, part of Acts that happened in Israel. So we're going to chronologically walk through. There's so many people going, oh my gosh, I would love to go, but it's $5,000. That ain't nothing for a 12-day vacation in the Mediterranean, trust me. Nothing. But the point is, oh, I want to go. We only got X amount of months before we can get there. Okay, look, there's always a way. One thing you can do is look at your current job and find a way to become more valuable there. Maybe weasel your way into part of the job where you can earn a commission. You can earn extra money on top of the current salary that you're already making. And all that takes is a skill set. And if you're like, oh, but Dani, I don't think I want to do sales. Weigh your ego with your bank account, friend. Weigh your ego with your bank account. If you want to go on a long-awaited vacation to the Holy Land or to Bora Bora or Iceland or wherever it is that you want to go or whatever you want to do, and the only thing that's stopping you is money, well, then you're letting your ego win instead of doing what it takes to grow your income so you can do the thing that your heart desires to do. So we're talking to our faithful clients here and listeners of the Dani Johnson Show, finding out ways how they have made extra money to be able to do the things that they want to do. So we have Lynn Toro from New Jersey. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. How have you made extra money?
Well, Dani, when I was employed, I looked at the vending machine at my job, and I seen that the prices were too high. There were things that were in the vending machine that no one was buying. So what I did is I went to the big box stores and I bought the same items and I sold them at my desk. And I made a profit because I sold them at half price. And also, when people wanted Hold
on. I love it. Okay. Hold on a second. Okay. So here it is. Oh my gosh. People, there's vending machines at work. Mm-hmm. They rip you off, don't they?
Yes.
We should all be in the vending machine business, not to rip people off. I'm just saying it's profitable. But $1 for the Reese's peanut butter cup, the normal size, $1 for the tiny little bag of Cheetos. I really love those Cheetos. I am defenseless when I see those stupid Cheetos in that machine. Therefore, I don't go near those machines. But anyway, you know what? You know what I'm saying? It's like we can buy an entire pack, right? The big box that people buy for their kids' school lunch, which I highly recommend that they don't do. But I mean, how much is that big box that has 20 of those bags of chips in it? And here that vending machine operator is buying the big box. He's buying it pennies to the dollar and then selling each bag for $1. So you decided to be the vending machine at your office. Oh my gosh.
And I still made a profit because I sold it at half price of what they were selling.
I love it. And people just can't help themselves. They just can't. They cannot help themselves.
Standing over my desk, asking for things, and my husband kept going, well, why don't you just sell sodas next? I was like, I wish I could, but I didn't have a place to keep them cold.
Hey, I had an idea. You bring a cooler and you put it behind your desk. Fill it with the sodas.
I had no more room. That's the problem.
Under the desk?
Everything was under the desk. It was so funny because, Dani, when I did all of that, it was under my desk. And where I worked in corporate, you could not get into my area unless you were authorized. So I really had to make sure that you were authorized.
Okay, hold on. We got to take a quick break. I got to hear more about this. This is such a great idea. Kids should be doing this at school as well because the lunchroom also puts a profit on those candy bars and those. The kid actually needs to be smart enough not to eat the junk. Sell the junk. Don't eat the junk. We're going to continue to hear more from Lynn. What an awesome idea. I love it. That is called being resourceful, adding value in the marketplace. awesome. We'll continue after this.
No donkeys, no elephants, no blaming, and no excuses. Just real solutions that will really change things. That's real leadership. Stay right here for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
This is your chance. This is your shot. Get your copy of War on Debt right now. There's one waiting for you that has your family's name on it. And inside that package is freedom. Your family's freedom is on the inside of that package. All you have to do is open it up, press play, and start applying what I teach you in this program. 888-757-8880. You and I are going to help your family become completely debt-free in the next 5 to 7 years. Just imagine how that's going to feel.
This is The Dani Johnson Show.
Quit your whining about not having enough money and start looking for ways to make more money. You don't even have to start a business to make more money. You could do what Lynn did in Florida. She saw the prices of the vending machine that was at her corporate office, and she decided to become their competitor. She went to the store, she bought all of those items herself, and sold them for half price to, her coworkers who much rather buy the little bag of Cheetos for 50 cents instead of $1 that the vending machine was charging. All right, so Lynn, tell us more. I just want to hug your neck. I love people who solve problems. You're awesome. Okay, so you have all the junk food underneath your desk. You're and you haven't figured out how to sell the sodas yet. I got another idea. You can leave the cooler in your car and only bring in the amount that you can actually keep under your desk, whether it's 6 cold sodas or whatever.
Well, Dani, after doing all of that, they asked me, I did this because when I was up for a raise, they didn't give me enough of a raise, and I told them I had to supplement my income. So I started doing it that way. Then the company decided to downsize, and I was one of the persons they downsized. But my boss, the last thing that she said that she knows that no grass will grow under my feet.
Amen.
Because besides doing that, whenever they had a party, I was selling cheesecakes, and I made specialty cheesecakes. There was amaretto, there was chocolate, there was Bailey's cheesecake. I made specialty cheesecakes. And then when someone was sick, I had my own home. I had my own business, so I also did other things on the side. So I'm helping people get well. I'm helping people be themselves and
get fat.
Helping people party too.
Exactly. Get fat on a cheesecake.
I'll either help you get fat or help you get skinny. I can do either one.
I love it. I am so proud of you. I really am. You know what? It's so very smart. And if anyone that knows how to bake, they could easily, if you're working inside of a company, people are having birthdays all the time. You could totally offer your services to be the one that cooks and bakes all the cookies and all of that stuff or the cakes or whatever and sell them to the company. They much rather have someone come to them saying, hey, I can take care of that. Here's the bill. Here's what it's going to cost for that to happen for you. They much rather use you than have to go send their assistant out to go price out cakes and da-da-da-da-da and organize the whole thing. You literally could be somebody that is the party planner inside of your corporate office or inside of your small business, whatever it is. But you can be the person to make an extra cash every single week or every single month with simple little things like what Lynn just did. Lynn, I am so proud of you. You blow my mind. I love it. I want to hug your neck, girl. And no way does grass grow underneath a woman's feet like that. She ain't waiting for money to fall out of the sky. She's working. Amazing. Thanks so much, Lynn, for sharing. Okay, we got Monica from Late Lafayette, Louisiana. Hi.
Hi, Dani.
All right. What did you do to start making some extra money?
Well, 4.5 years ago, I went through a divorce, and I had 2 teenagers and a 2-year-old.
Ooh.
And, so at the time, I owned 4 junior retail clothing stores, which I was forced to liquidate. And I was very passionate about retail and visual displaying and all that. But I also made children's hair bows for our kids section that we had in our store. And so that was something that couldn't be taken from me because it was a craft of mine that I could do at home.
Yep.
So I started designing ribbon, going to schools, and teaming up with the whoever was in charge of the the theme stores that would sell the merchandise in each of the elementary schools, and I started designing ribbon to
Fit the schools.
Match the schools.
Yeah.
And so their spirit shops would buy from me to sell to the students and faculty and staff and all that. And it got bigger and bigger to where I designed all kinds of things to match high school football teams, our local college, even some of the higher, the NFL teams, we would design ribbon. And so then we started a Facebook store selling the ribbons to other people who made hair bows for a living. And it just grew and grew and grew. It employed my 2 teenagers, so they learned to work for money instead of asking for money because they didn't have any to give. So they learned a trade. Nice. I'm working full-time doing it. And then once I started going from store to store with my retail background, business owners in the retail stores that I was selling the hair bows to, I started consulting and going in and making money by helping them re-merchandise their store or do visual displays in their windows. So it created a lot of money and a lot of avenues for other ways to be making money.
Wow. So, girlfriend, you just didn't sit there licking your wounds. I'm divorced. I got 2 teenagers. I'm a single mom now, a 2-year-old and 2 teenagers. It's so hard. Life is so terrible.
Yeah, it actually drives you even, for me, it drove me even to work even harder and smarter at it because, for so many years, I let the store do it, but then here I'm forced to do it on my own without that backup. And it was very scary, but I knew that God had a plan for my life, and He had given me many talents throughout the years, and I was just to utilize those talents and make money doing it.
Wow. Okay, so Monica, I got to tell you something because there is 2 different kinds of thinking when it comes to money and teenagers, and I love that you were forced to teach your kids how to work for money instead of using you as an ATM machine. And that was actually by design, girlfriend. That is the greatest gift you could have gave your kids because this is what we see, especially today. Parents have their children. They have no plan of action about how to groom them for success. They, by default, groom them to be entitled, spoiled, rotten brats who don't want to work but just expect because they were alive to get blessed everything they ever desire. That is setting a kid up for failure big time. But putting your kids to work, especially in the family business, hello.
Great.
So wise.
They learned a lot.
Absolutely.
They started early on working, helping tag merchandise at, 10, 11, 12 years old, and they got paid for it, but they worked for it. But then when, we lost the stores, then we're forced to do something different. And so they were creative with me in the process. They would all the stuff into the stores, into the boutiques, and they were real troopers. And they're 20 and 19. One's a mother now, and they're awesome girls, and they work hard and strive to. They have great work ethic now.
Wow. Well, good job, Mommy. You didn't use being a single mom or divorce as an excuse at all, girlfriend. You rolled up your sleeves and you used the talents that were given to you and you prospered for them. Congratulations. Another one that didn't let the grass grow under her feet. I love it. This is so much fun. Okay, we've got Carly Strickfaden from Michigan. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Thank you, Dani. It's an honor.
So how have you created extra money when you're in need?
It really depends. I have a couple of side businesses. How I generate most of my money is I talk to teens in public school, and I ask them, what is something that you want to make, or what is something that you want to have in your room that's handmade? Because when people want something from Pinterest or probably from Facebook, when someone shares a photo, they'll tag me in it and they'll say, okay, Cara, I need you to make this. I've made flower pens for proms. I have made flower bowls for prom proposals. I have made organic chapstick and gone door to door. I've made pies for Thanksgiving. Really anything that I can get my hands on that's craft-wise, that's seasonal. I make that, and then I present it to the teens, and the teens show it to their friends, who realize that this is a new trend, who show it to their friends, who show it to their friends, who show it to their friends, and word gets out word of mouth really quickly.
Oh my gosh. And this just cracks me up. Look at this. It's like just using what you have already and simply just networking with people, using social media with a simple craft, and then building those relationships with people. Look at that. I'll make pies for Thanksgiving. When somebody wants to make money, there's nothing that stops them from doing it. There's nothing that stops them. Here's Carly. Here's Monica. You heard these other stories. It's those people who are always in that place of, oh, well, if only I could. If only I could. You know, I don't know how to do any crafts, Danny. Find someone that knows how to do crafts. And why don't you sell their crafts for them? Hello. Oh, well, Danny, I don't know how to cook. Then learn, fool. Gosh. Yeah. There is no reason to be broke. Not in the country that we live in, not in the economy that we live in, not in the world that we live in today, not with social media. There's no reason to be broke, friend. If you're broke, it's because you want to be. Period. End of story. I know you just unliked our Facebook page, and you know what? I don't care. It's time to rise up and live life by design. Man, not by default. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
So what's keeping you stuck? It's time to get it out of your way for good. Stay right here for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
I just heard this amazing story. One of our clients had written us telling us that they had used job domination and unlimited success and has absolutely exploded their career. He said, Dani, I don't know where I'd be today without job domination and unlimited success. Listen, do you want more recognition from your coworkers? Do you want to be recommended to people all over the world? Do you want to be somebody that is highly sought after? Listen, if you're in a dead-end place where this gentleman found himself, but then learned new strategies and changed everything in his work life, and obviously this has resulted in higher bonuses and pay raises, you're next. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of Job Domination right now. 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880. Job Domination. That's what you need. It's time for you to dominate the job market and break through the rut that you're in.
In your face and in your corner. You've never had a coach like this before. This is The Dani Johnson Show.
He who is faithful with little will be made ruler over much, much more. The best success book ever written is who first coined that beautiful piece of wisdom. Do you know that there is a financial kingdom? There is. There's two different kingdoms, two different financial kingdoms. One leads to absolute poverty, pain, and suffering, losing sleep, broken relationships. Then there is this other kingdom, this other financial kingdom that creates wealth and adds no sorrow to it. That is the kingdom of God, the kingdom that God created, the financial kingdom. The laws are written for his financial kingdom, not for the other one. Most people break the financial laws, and because they break the financial laws, they end up in poverty. They end up in debt. They end up in absolute ruin with so much stress on their lives, suffering and carrying the burden of finances that are never enough. Well, today we are talking about money, as we do often on this day of the week, that we always put a focus on money. Why? Because there's always ways to make more money. There's always ways to grow your income, and there's always ways to create wealth. And it really is about whether or not you want your brain to wrap around how to do it. It's simple. All day, all this whole program we've been hearing about all these different ways that people have found to make extra money. The simplest, stupidest things that are making money and helping people to provide for themselves, even creating more than an abundance, even in a single mom situation. So again, here on the Dani Johnson Show every day, we're bringing you tips, strategies, techniques, and ideas of things that you can do to improve your life so that you can reach the success you want. Not the success that someone else tells you you're supposed to have, but I'm telling you the success you desire. custom made for you. So again, we're looking for more ways of how people are making extra money out there. We've got Raven Elder from South Carolina. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, Dani. Glad to be here.
Good. I can't wait to hear what you have found to be a way to make some extra money.
Okay, well, a sad story. A couple of years ago, my fiance was attacked at work. He was a general manager, and he was attacked during a robbery by two masked gunmen who beat him in the head with guns and robbed some money from him.
Wow.
So, that kind of flipped our whole world upside down, and he had been the sole provider for our little family. And at that point, we were faced with all these bills, and what are we going to do, and how are we going to do it? And I needed to be able to help bring in some extra income, but also be able to take care of him at the same time, which his recovery was pretty long. So I knew I couldn't go out and get a 9-to-5 job and leave him alone all the time. So I came up with the idea to start my own business. And I was selling custom jewelry that I had purchased from various places, unique things that I thought people would be interested in that you don't see all the time. And
where did you find the places to purchase it from?
Online. I just looked online. I ordered probably from hundreds of different places.
Really super cheap, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. This is so interesting. Hold on one second. I have to tell you the story. In 2006, my husband and I renewed our vows. When we first got married, okay, we did everything backwards. All right, basically, I took advantage of him, and I got pregnant. Then we moved in together, not because I was pregnant. I told him, thanks for the sperm. I don't need a father for my child. That's who I was 24 years ago. In fact, we'll be celebrating here very shortly that it'll be 24 years exactly that we've been together, if you will. Anyway, so what happened is that I didn't have the wedding, the dream wedding, right? I didn't have the wedding at all. I mean, it was like 20 friends in Hawaii. That's where he was from. That's where we met. That's where I was when I was homeless. And so then it was like, okay, I did everything I could to spend the least amount of money because I just knew he and I were not going to end up together, right? I just wanted, I wanted another baby, but I didn't want a third child out of wedlock. Pathetic story, right? So long story short, I ended up falling in love with this guy. 13 years later, I'm like, darn it, I should have had a wedding. So he allowed me to have the wedding, renew our vows. We had 40 people then, but I designed my dress. And do you know that I bought my necklace that I wore with my dress? And you should go on Facebook and see the renewal of our vows. The dress is stunning. It's Pirates of the Caribbean. It is gorgeous. My aunt gave me the fabric. She got the fabric from a store that closed down 20 years before. And here she had this fabric for me. It was silk file. And so anyway, so the fabric was free. I had to pay obviously the dress designer to make the dress. She made it in 2 days. And so anyway, so I'm looking for a necklace to wear with this dress. And it's not like I could wear anything that I already had. It needed to be like a choker, but it needed to be like white pearls or something, this gorgeous choker. I go online. Right. Okay, wait, you should see this. You got to look at it. I find it. Okay, the person shipped it from London. It was $12. It was $12.
Oh, wow.
That thing could easily be sold for $100. Easily be sold for $100. I have worn it on stage before thousands of people again and again and again. Hello, you can find really cheap, gorgeous looking items and then resell them, which, Raven, that's what you're saying that you did.
Absolutely, I did, and it worked out really well. It worked out so well that I was actually inspired to start making my own creations, which ended up being much more profitable, but it also established a relationship with people all over the country that I never would have met otherwise. They told me their stories. They let me in on the sad times, births of their grandchildren, cancer, everything else, and I developed such a close relationship with these people that not only did it add wealth to my bank account, but it added wealth, sounds kind of
relationships
funny, to my heart.
Yes.
And it really gave me something to be proud of, and just fulfilled me in ways that I never ever would have imagined otherwise.
Now, why costume jewelry? Were you a jewelry girl?
I've always been into accessories, but I was just I was looking for something that I could sell that was interesting to me, actually. I mean, it was kind of a shot in the dark. I didn't have any experience doing anything like that, and I just kind of ran with it, and one little idea in the middle of the night turned into a business that has really helped
to provide for your family.
Yes, absolutely.
Raven, I'm proud of you.
It really is. It really is a miracle. A little over 5 years ago, my life was so bad. I was in a coma because I had given up, and to have taken myself from that point to where I am now, it's just it's totally a miracle. There's nothing better than the feeling of rising up from being so low.
Wow. Raven, I am so proud of you. I am. So many people, when bad things happen to them, like what you're saying, your fiance, the main breadwinner, was beaten to a bloody pulp and took a long time to recover, and you just didn't sit there and go, wee, wee, wee. You're like, bootstrap it, baby. We got to find a way to make some money. And you didn't go, oh, well, I can't go get a job. Gosh, man, I love that you didn't do that. I can't get a job because someone has to care for him and our kid. You didn't do that. You're like, I got to figure something out. What can I sell? Wow. I'm proud of you. Entrepreneur, baby. Just out of nothing. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thanks for calling and sharing that story. We need to be inspired. We really do. In fact, all of us need to be inspired daily. It's easy to get ourselves into a rut. It's easy for us to feel hopeless. It's easy for us to give in. It's easy for us to go the way of those 98%ers with all their lame excuses, staying stuck and not getting ahead. There are answers. Today's been full of them, haven't it? We'll continue with more right after this.
Don't go away. The next segment might just change your life. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
For families in Santa Pancha, Nicaragua, life is filled with fear and struggle. They don't have enough food for their kids, clean water is hard to find, and they're living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel on top of mining tunnels that could explode and sink at any moment. But a miracle is in the making, and you can be a part of transforming this village. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha to see how you can help. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org, and click on Santa Pancha.
Be sure to tell a friend about the Dani Johnson Show. It just might be the key to the breakthrough they need. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
There's always solutions, friend. No matter what it is that you are going through, no matter what financial troubles you're having, there's always solutions. Every Tuesday night, a group of us gather and we pray for you. And we put up a post on Facebook and we ask for prayer requests. I'm always astounded at how many people are praying for financial breakthroughs. Always. And yet, we are surrounded by opportunity. And today, you have heard of every kind of story of how people have managed to make money to provide for their families out of thin air. Out of thin air. The wildest things. And they managed to provide for themselves instead of staying stuck in a rut and crying the blues. So you can do it too, man. You just heard all those amazing stories. There's no reason why you can't step up and do the same. Now, there's several skill sets that you can use in starting something simple. Again, it's just about making money on the side. We talked about in the beginning of the show that, you want to go to Israel, you want to go to Bora Bora. You want to do something nice for your parents. You can't let money continuously rule your life. He who is faithful with a little can be made ruler over much. So many different ways to grow your income. And I want to help give you a boost in doing that by giving you this gift. First Steps to Wealth. Get your copy right now, 866-760-8255. Again, that's 866-760-8255. It's going to show you the very specific skill sets on how to build relationships out there in the public that are going to open up jobs as well as business to you. And also what to do with the money, what not to do with the money. One other thing that I want to encourage you to do, by the way, again, 866-760-8255. Get your free copy right now. It's First Steps to Wealth. The other thing to do is as you make money, okay, and no matter what it is that you are not making now, I know a principle that hit me over the head about 2 decades ago, and it was this. If you focus on helping others who are in need, then you will not be in need. Take care of the poor. If you take care of the poor, God is going to take care of you. So maybe you don't know of some poor to take care of. I can help you with that. I know lots of them. We help 500,000 people every single month with water, food, or shelter, education, building homes for the extreme poor, and getting kids out of the sex trade. Go now to kingsransom.org and just make a commitment, $1 for every 10 that you make. And I promise you, you're going to watch your finances be protected if you consistently set aside $1 out of every 10 that you make and you take care of the poor. He who lends to the poor lends to God himself, and God will make sure that you are not in want. My finances have been protected since the time that we started taking care of the poor. In fact, we actually created wealth at the time of taking care of the poor. kingsransom.org. Again, that's kingsransom.org. Work with us in the project of building homes for the extreme poor and putting them in business and educating their kids. Santa Pancha, Nicaragua is where this is taking place. Who knows, one day you might be with me on the ground in Nicaragua, standing in a house that you helped build. Santa Pancha, Nicaragua, go to kingsransom.org. Give what you can. Maybe it's a $1, maybe it's 1,000, maybe it's 10,000. Do what you can and do it now. We'll talk to you tomorrow with another powerful topic that's going to help you become more successful.
Did you hear that last segment? Do you know someone else who needs to hear it? Go to DaniJohnson.com, find today's show, and share it online.
Hi, welcome to the Dani Johnson YouTube channel. We're super excited to have you here. And every single week, we're going to make sure that you get awesome videos for your business, career, making more money, saving money, annihilating your debt, as well as helping you to handle those really tough problems that you have with people at home as well as at work, and taking those really good relationships you already have and causing them to flourish and grow. All you have to do is click that subscribe button right down here. Click that and you'll be subscribed to an amazing community of people as well as some great videos that will help to improve your life. Thanks so much for being here. Subscribe now would be good. Just click it. I know you can see it. It's somewhere down here. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.